45 to a minute, they will be coming across the taxiway and they will wave to all of you.
This jumbo 747 SP, which is a rare old bird, is the one that is used by NASA called Sophia with a telescope on it. Today, it's her last flight.
I love seeing that because we know what's next. And then Brayden, how old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11 too. So these two 11-year-olds, his dad is a photographer, and Brayden now takes pictures that are better than some of the photographers that were hired here this weekend to take pictures like his dad. And the both of you are working this show. You're doing pictures and social media. You're doing the announcing. They're doing the flying. What a team, both of you.
Yes, this is one of the best air shows. It's a great air show to be at. I'm glad all of you decided to come.
Aerospace Valley Air Show Day 2. It's getting close to the Thunderbirds, but not quite yet. You see NASA Sophia at the end of the runway, getting ready to take off on its final flight back to Palmdale. Last time the public gets to see the Sophia, so sad day for NASA. We had Megan Person on just a little bit ago, and she talked about that. But joining me now, Miss Jessica Fisher, call sign Sting. She's the technical director at the 412th Operations Group. She's a graduate of the Test Pilot School, and not only a graduate, but an instructor who's instructed there. So, ma'am, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm going to correct you. It's Jessica Peterson. I'm sorry. I must have given you bad notes.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, hey, it's not the first mistake we've made today. Probably won't be the last.
That's what happens when you go live, huh?
It is, live TV. All right, so it's Jessica Peterson. How about Sting? Should we just go by
just
Sting?
call me Sting.
We'll go by Sting. So, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. This has just been a thrill this weekend. All the work that people put in, seeing it come to fruition, seeing the audience being able to enjoy it has just been really wonderful. Loving it.
And not only that, but you've been very busy because you just came from the STEM Expo, and we had guests on earlier, including General Hyder, and he talked about his vision for this air show and so closely connected to science, technology, engineering, and math. And the fact that you're able to go over there and spend some time. What did you guys talk about when you were over there?
Yeah, so I have two different things that I've been doing with the STEM Expo. So the first is we've set up a simulator. Being an instructor at Test Pilot School, I really want to share that experience with everyone that's here. And so we've set up a simulator where we can have experience being a test pilot, experience being a flight test engineer, and so we have test cards where they go through and they do a maneuver, we give them feedback on the maneuver, and then we have another station where you can be an engineer, you can see how the aircraft performs, tell the pilot they need to go a little faster, a little bit slower, do the maneuver a little bit more square, and so I've been running that for the last 3 days, which has been amazing.
Wow.
And then the other thing I've been talking about is being in flight test engineering, and specifically the program that I've worked on, the automatic ground collision avoidance system, really rewarding program. So it's on the F-16, also on our F-22 and F-35 now. I got to be on the team that did all the flight tests of that. So I talk about how we planned that, how we did it safely, and then how the system has saved 12 lives now in the F-16, which is really amazing, rewarding program to work on.
Yeah, and it just speaks to the innovation and technology and how far we've come.
Yeah.
And we continue, the theme for this year's air show, breaking tomorrow's barriers today, and that's really what Edwards is really all about, right?
It is. And I mean, working on the STEM Expo has really been important because if we're going to break those barriers in the future, we have to have the engineers, the pilots, the scientists, the maintainers, the manufacturers, all those kids, they need to go into those careers so that we can do that in the future. So it's been really fun trying to inspire the next generation.
And, speaking of, the next generation, we also want that generation to be diverse and inclusive. And so your story is a little interesting because not only, obviously, are you a woman, but you're a DoD civilian. You are not prior military. So just give us a little, 30-second elevator pitch on your background.
Sure. So I grew up in the Antelope Valley. I ended up here in 2005 doing the internship. No plan on doing flight tests. Really didn't know that I was going to get it. Got out here, loved, it's amazing seeing these airplanes. Loved the job. This is why I love Edwards, right? It's because you get to see these airplanes going by all the time. And once I got out here, I was like, man, the opportunities are amazing. So the Air Force paid for me as a civilian to get a master's degree. I went to the Naval Postgraduate School. And then in 2017, they sent me through Test Pilot School as a a flight test engineer as a civilian, and I got to go fly in 40 different aircraft. I've gone supersonic up to 50,000 feet, which is like 9.5 miles, been able to do all these things. And then after graduating, I've been
There
able
she
to
goes,
continue doing
guys.
that. So, really the opportunities as a civil servant for the Air Force is amazing, and we don't do a great job advertising it.
And there's the NASA Sophia taking off one last time.
one last
from
time.
Edwards.
I got to look at it. It's amazing. Yeah, classic airplane for sure.
Yeah, a lot of great people worked on that program for NASA, and so that's history. You know?
I know. It's amazing. This whole weekend is history, I feel like. Well, I'm sure you've talked about the 75th anniversary, right?
We have. So obviously this year being the Air Force's 75th anniversary,
Yeah.
but it's also a big anniversary for breaking the sound barrier. The Bell
right.
X-1 team, big ceremony on Friday where they renamed the supersonic corridor. But I know you have an interesting tie to that as well.
Yeah, so I came up with the idea when we were talking about the 75th anniversary. We decided that we wanted to do something really special for that. And so we decided that we were going to rename our high altitude supersonic corridor to the Bell X-1 supersonic corridor. We christened it on Friday. So on Friday, a Raptor took off. It boomed the base. We christened it the Bell X-1. The Raptor came back through, did the first pass. And during that event, and I'm going to give this to you to keep. It's a little piece of history. The Raptor had this flag in the cockpit, so it's gone supersonic twice. It's been in the brand new Bell X-1 supersonic corridor. There's a card that goes along with it, and on the back you can see a little picture of our airspace with the Bell X-1 corridor. So this has been in the Raptor. I also flew this on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we did a STEM flyover. We flew throughout the entire Antelope Valley, 50 different schools, elementary, middle school, high school, and colleges. Students were out there seeing that fly. So when this is done, I'll send you a picture of me holding that in a T-38. I got a F-35 on one wing. I got a F-18 on the other wing, and pretty awesome. So that's a little piece for you to remember Edwards by.
That is, I mean, this is really cool. So thank you very much
Yeah.
on behalf of our entire team. Really cool, and just talks to the history and the breaking barriers that your team is doing, not just in the past, but what you're going to do today and also tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we have to keep up
We do.
with our adversaries in this area of strategic competition. And so can you maybe talk about some of the things that you guys do at Test Pilot School that